death in the coming battle. It was the same kind of a voice as that which called to so many of your soldiers in the Great War. You will not live through the next attack, or you will not live through the day, or this is your last leave of absence. You will never again see your family and friends. Why did so many soldiers who had often been home and leave before find it so hard to return to the front on the occasion which proved to be their last? In the case of Saul, as in that of all others who know to a certainty that their death is at hand, it was the guardian spirits that announced this hour, the most momentous one in a man's life. During your lifetime, their voice has often warned you of impending danger. Again and again, they have intervened to save you from peril. But when the inevitable moment approaches, these friendly spirits shake your inmost being so violently that the striking of the hour of your death sounds to your ears too loudly to pass unheard. Then you know that your time has come. Not in every case are the spirits allowed to sound this warning. When they are, it is a special mark of divine favor granted to them, the person to whom this warning is issued. Time to make his peace with God and implore his help at the moment when the faithful step must be taken. With Saul also, it was the last appeal by the Lord's spirit messengers, urging him to return to that God to whom he had become faithless. But Saul, although he knew he was about to die, so far from turning inwardly to God and renewing his oath of fealty to him, contented himself with the outward formality of calling upon God through mediums and of asking for help of his worldly troubles. He sat now in a communion with the Lord in repentance of his past behavior. Because of this, God did not answer the question inspired by worldly interest. And Saul, fearing for his earthly existence, sought out the necromancers. When he used the words, "I am sore distressed," he was speaking of the foreboding of death that weighed upon him. At this moment, I wish to speak briefly of the many other ways in which the approach of someone's death is foretold. As you know it is popular belief that the howling of dogs, the appearing of certain birds, the turning white of plants, and other occurrences are signs of an impending death. This is not superstition as your scientifically enlightened age pronounces it to be. It is true. And even if such signs fail to point out the person for whom they are meant, everyone familiar with them should take them to heart and pause to reflect upon his own state. These signs are the calling of your spirit friends to remind you of the reckoning which you will have to render after you leave this life upon earth. They are the manifestations of the spirit world given those animals, causing them to do things that you regard as omens. As I have told you repeatedly, animals also may be used as mediums by either the good or the evil spirit world. The same is true of plants and flowers, but the spirit world implies such signs only for the benefit of persons able to read them, for it does nothing without a purpose. That is all I need to tell you regarding this point. Coming back to the necromancer of Endor, it may appear strange that Samuel should have answered our summons at all. He was not one of the dead, not one of those who had departed from God. He was not one of the spirits of the abyss with whom that woman was in the habit of communicating. He was one of God's good spirit. This fact the woman herself recognized from the godlike appearance of Samuel's ghost. It came as a judgment of God to punish Saul for his offense of consulting the powers of evil. If in Samuel's place an evil spirit had come, it would not have predicted truthfully the terrible fate awaiting Saul, but would have beguiled him with some acceptable falsehood. Hence it was God's will that the good spirit of Samuel should appear before the clairvoyant, who was likewise clairaudient, and through her announced to Saul what the coming day held in store for him. To learn this so long in advance was the hardest part of what Saul had to bear.